Jujutsu Kaisen, Anime of the Year award, and oh my god, for 22 episodes and finishing it today, I was like, I need to review this. This is one amazing show. I'm a real fan of shonen, and I think shonen is one of my favorite genres, especially being brought up with Dragon Ball Z. It kind of went into my blood and it just never left. So it's basically like an STD and I'm stuck with it. So shonen is always going to be something that I really like. For the people who don't know what Jujutsu Kaisen actually is about, it's basically about a world, and I can perceive it as our current world, where we have these warriors, soldiers, these basically magicians that need to destroy the curses around the world, because these curses kill people, and everyone that is basically a curse user, basically I could be it, they will have a unique trait and they will use that trait to distinguish other curses. And these curses are in physical form, so they're basically monsters. And don't mind you, I thought this was kind of childish as of an idea, but then you see the designs of these monsters and holy shit, watching this at night on a big screen can really make you poop your pants a little bit. Jujutsu Kaisen is a shonen which is, in very short terms, a very full, impactful show. It is full of action and there's always something happening. There's always a next step that's going to happen, and it's not really a story-driven anime. It's not about going really deep into thoughts and making you think and analyze things like Death Note, for example, but it is an anime that has a very nice progression. Every episode something is happening. Every episode there's this huge battle that is beautifully executed, and for the people who designed these battles, I don't know who you are or who designed them, but oh my god, they are beautiful. You know, in Dragon Ball Z you basically have people flashing around and you only have these still frames of people like punching each other or anything similar. When you look at Jujutsu Kaisen, they have these beautiful animations where a fight doesn't go from 1 second to the other. It's just 20, 30, 40 seconds of beautiful animations on how things explode, how people are being hit, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful anime to watch in this sense. I've never watched a show that is this accurate when it comes to details on how attacks are executed. Now you might be asking, 22 episodes, how good can it be? And that's a very legit question, because I am always in the thought that small animes can also be destroyed very quick, because you have animes that either put in too much information and then there is too much happening and there is too many loopholes, or they're a little bit too bland and they want to, well, execute it in a way that just didn't work out. But this is the perfect blend of everything. The story is simple to follow, the action is full of action, and the characters themselves are very simple to understand very quickly, but they're just very fun characters. They're all unique from one another, and it's really hard to make one look like the main character. I know we have one protagonist who is the main character theoretically, but I never see him as like the guy, like the man. Because if you look at the scenes, you have small moments where one is shown, and then you have the second member being shown, and this is a beautiful execution. Even with 22 episodes, they did a fantastic job here, and it gives everyone a bit of time to grow within the show. And of course, I said simple characters. My favorite character, and this is not a spoiler alert, but we have this character called Todo. Todo is the one that when I got introduced to him, I was like, who is this big asshole basically punching everyone and being really aggressive? But then he says something and he asks people around, like, what women do you like? And he has a preference of women tall and big asses, which is super, super funny. And if people don't agree with him, he's gonna punch you. Very simple, but super hilarious. And if you do have the same choice as him in the preference of women, he is gonna be your best friend. And what I like about him as well, for example, and we're talking still about the simplicity, is that basically he is nothing too complex. He will be a man. He will stand his ground. He says, if you're going to get your ass whooped, you're going to get it whooped. If you're going to die now, you're going to die as a man. And I really like that simple contrast in all the characters. The one thing that I still think that is missing at the moment, and I hope this is going to come in the next season, is their final powers. I have a feeling they're all still holding back a little bit on their true strength, because they are all surviving quite easily. Of course, there are some curses that are a little bit more difficult to defeat because of their natural habitat. For example, there's one curse is able to grow something inside of you. You cannot really destroy it, so you're kind of stuck and you need other people to help you. But going back to the anime itself, I really think it's an anime of the year material. I think it is just beautiful to look at. I think the execution is great, and I hope they're going to continue in the second season. I think I want to see more of these characters. I think they're really fun and enjoyable and simple characters. The humor is great, the attention to detail is great, and like I already said, the story is not really that heavy, meaning you will not start crying all of a sudden or really fall in love with anything to the point where like, oh no, I wish it happened, but you're going to really enjoy watching it because it's a very short but very powerful show. If I'm gonna put this anime into my scoring system, I'm gonna give this show a literal 9 out of 10. I think it is a well-deserved place. I think the story is interesting enough to follow. I think the world they created is full of detail and full of life. I love that the characters are not dull and boring, and they're not a million characters that you need to understand the full story. It's a very simple and understanding character development, and also a very understanding story. You have the bad guy, you have to kill them, but the bad guys are just so full of emotion as well, and sometimes you're like, I can understand where they're coming from. You know, I feel them. It's not bad what they do. It is bad what they're doing, but at the same time you're like, it could have been a little better. But yeah, guys, if you did not watch Jujutsu Kaisen yet, I would just say put it on your to-do list because it is a great show. And for a shonen, it's just fun. I mean, if you love action, you're gonna get it here. If you love blood, you're gonna get it here. If you love a bit of horror, you are gonna get it here. Even though I'm getting a little bit older, and maybe if I was a little bit younger, I might have pooped my pants literally, but I nearly pooped myself as an adult, so not a big difference, I think. See you on the next review.